Hungry Lamu tells us the story of a camel named Lamu. Through the narrator, Lamu lives in a cave deep in the forest. After a long sleep, Lamu starts to get hungry, and he comes out of the cave to find food. After finding and eating cherry bushes, Lamu still feels hungry. Suddenly, Lamu sees a four-legged banana. Lamu approaches the banana, but it seems angry. Lamu takes a rock and knocks the banana unconscious and eats it. But after eating, Lamu is still hungry. Lamu sees a group of fruit friends camping nearby. When Lamu gets closer, they start to run away. It seems they want to play hide and seek with Lamu. Lamu starts to look for those fruits. Lamu uses an axe to cut down a tree and finds the orange, uses a torch to find the pear, and uses a beehive to find the apple. Whenever he finds a fruit, Lamu will eat it immediately. And after eating all, Lamu still feels hungry. At this time, the game space begins to change, and we are controlling a mysterious character. This person is wandering in a dark forest and hears the screams of his friends. After returning to the campsite, he does not see his friends and starts looking for them. This person realizes that his friends, and even Machi, his dog, have been brutally killed. He tries to run to the car to escape, but after only a short distance, a strange object attacked him. A news article appears soon after. The title of the article is about the tragedy at Lamu Reserve. A group of 4 friends are identified as having been killed while camping in this reserve. The victims include Tasha Neal, 20 years old, Ken Abel, 20 years old, Leon Dean, 20 years old, along with an unnamed character, who is also the mysterious character that we have controlled. The group of friends camped at Lamu Reserve on the evening of February 19, 2002. All 4 of them were young graduates, looking for a place close to nature to rest. The tragedy began to happen that day. Tasha, Ken, and Leon were brutally killed and beheaded in the middle of the night, leaving only the unnamed character wandering in the forest and also the last survivor of this event. Lamu Reserve, known to be the place where many disappearances and murders occurred. Victims in cases in the reserve often show signs of being beheaded by an unknown method. Although the forensics have identified the marks on the victims' bodies, it resembles bite marks from human teeth. Based on the police investigation, the mystery of the killer in Lamu Reserve has been solved. However, the authorities have decided to keep the identity of the killer a secret and only inform the people that the killer has been arrested. The last survivor of the group of friends has also not answered any interviews about this issue due to the psychological impact. After the horrific event, the people can now feel safer knowing that the killer in the reserve has been arrested. Based on the information in the article, we can determine that the mysterious person who got into the car and escaped from Lamu Reserve is still alive. In the end, we see that this person still has to face Lamu, but it seems that the car collided with the monster, causing it to be injured. It seems that because of that, the authorities were able to capture it. In the game, in the part where Lamu goes to find his fruit friends, if we control Lamu to the right side of the map and destroy the car there, we will have a different ending. When the mysterious character comes to the car to find a way to escape, because the car has been destroyed, this person has no way to escape. Then we see the mysterious creature attack this person, and the image of Lamu with a full stomach appears. From here we also understand, the mysterious creature wandering in the forest is also the Lamu camel that we controlled at the beginning of the game. The fruit friends are the 3 dead friends mentioned in the article, and the 4-legged banana is Machi the dog. The Lamu camel is the creature that ate the friends and is the cause of many disappearances in the Lamu Reserve. The llama camel, as we can see, has the shape of a camel but has a human face. That also raises more questions about the origin of this creature. In the game, at the point where Machi's body is found, if we continue to go straight ahead, we will find a cave. This cave is marked by the group of friends on the map as a cursed cave. Inside the cave, we also find skulls scattered everywhere. Based on the location of the skulls with the pieces of fruit at the beginning of the game, this is Llama's cave. In the cave, we will also find a comic book about a cartoon camel. The story of this camel is similar to Llama's. The camel is hungry and goes to find wild fruits, and then returns home. In the middle of the comic, we will see a news clipping about a scientist named Eric Bronze, who was found to have signs of violations during his research. On April 15th, Dr. Bronze announced new findings in the science of human-animal genetics. He found a way to take DNA from animals and genetically transfer it to humans to help humans possess special abilities from animals. With this breakthrough, science will be able to create specific remedies for all kinds of diseases that have not been cured yet. The idea is extremely impossible, and that is true. During the research process, Dr. Bronze began to conduct experiments that deviated from the original purpose. So the scientific council gradually became concerned about him. This article is the clue to the origin of Lamu. Lamu is the result of a genetic experiment by Dr. Eric Bronze. In the comic book, we will see red ink marks written over it. This is the story of Lamu, and the interesting thing is that this comic book belongs to someone. This person's name is blurred, but we can still identify this name as Larry. After finishing the comic book, Lamu will appear right behind and attack us. A newspaper appears right after. This newspaper on October 23, 1977, reported on the murder case at the Bronze family apartment. At about 9 p.m., loud noises were heard in the apartment, and neighbors immediately called the police to check. And the police found a tragedy in that house. The Bronze family consists of 3 people: Eric Bronze, 52 years old, Tina Bronze, 51 years old, and an unnamed person who may be the child. The Bronze family is considered a friendly family and is always loved by the neighbors around. Although 6 months ago, Dr. Eric Bronze was discovered to have violated scientific research. But the Bronze family is still friendly with the neighbors, without any conflicts with anyone. But the terrible incident happened. On Saturday night, Dr. Eric and his wife Tina were found brutally murdered in their home. The police did not find the bodies of the remaining family members. According to information, the heads of the 2 victims, Eric and Tina, were separated from their bodies. The living room became chaotic with objects and furniture falling everywhere. The scene was quickly sealed off. The police began investigating this terrible case. During that time, all neighboring households were asked by the police to close their doors and not leave their homes for safety. The authorities have launched a search for the body of the remaining member of the Bronze family to determine whether this person is alive or dead. It is still unclear who or what caused the horrific deaths of the victims. The only thing people can do now is to stay safe and hope that the police will catch the culprit as soon as possible. This article, along with the drawings and pictures we see in the comic book, we can determine that the remaining member of the Bronze family is Lamu. To be more precise, Larry Bronze. Larry is the son of Eric and Tina. Larry was forced by his father to undergo genetic experiments with animal DNA, causing Larry's body to mutate. He gradually became a half-human, half-camel creature. That's why we understand why in the pictures we see that Larry hates his father so much, because he is the one who turned him into a monster. Larry is also the culprit who killed Dr. Eric and Tina. He ran away as soon as the incident happened. But after returning, he discovered that the police had come and were hunting him. That's why Larry hid in Lamu Reserve, and the only thing that helped him remember that he was once human was his favorite comic book. And during the 25 years of hiding in Lamu Reserve, Larry struggled every day with the thought that he was a camel and he only ate fruit. But hunger made Larry gradually lose his humanity. He imagined himself as a cartoon character, and there was a voice leading his story. He began to listen to the voice and went to find food in the reserve. Larry attacked the creatures that wandered in the reserve and ate them. Although in Larry's mind, he always thought he was playing with his fruit friends. Since then, the disappearances have increased. Larry has become a complete monster and hunts down the unfortunate victims day and night. Until the events in the game took place, the last survivor in the group of friends helped the police discover Larry's whereabouts, from which he was also identified as the culprit in the case 25 years ago. Larry was arrested and controlled, ending the horror he had caused for 25 years in the Lamu Reserve. And that is the content of Part 1. The events in Hungry Llama 2 take place right after the end of the first part. The main character was stopped by the monster Lamu while driving out of the reserve. A car accident happened. After that, the main character vaguely saw Lamu lying motionless nearby. Then, another car appeared. A man wearing a hat stepped out of the car. Then the main character passed out. We go to another scene. The main character finds himself sitting and talking by the campfire with his friends. Just as he was about to go to the toilet, his friends turned into headless corpses. His friends blamed the main character for leaving them to die in pain. From behind, the monster rushed to attack. The main character woke up in the apartment with a start. It turned out that it was all just a dream. The monster had been haunting him for a long time. And what's worse is that the monster is still out there somewhere. And the only clue at this time is the mysterious man driving a car with the logo of the Dean family farm. At this time, we see the monster Lamu is locked inside a prison. Then, a friend of the tomato comes to greet Lamu. The tomato tells Lamu that he has many friends who have done bad things, but have not been punished. And the tomato wants Lamu to punish those people. Then there is the story of a camel family. The baby camel and the mother camel are talking to each other before the baby camel goes to sleep. That night, the mother camel and the father camel talk. We know that the father camel is Eric and the mother camel is Tina. They argue about how to cure the baby camel. The father camel assures that the next medicine that he and his assistant create will definitely cure the baby camel. Back to the main character, based on the clues, he went to Dean's pig farm to find out about the mysterious man. The Dean family is also the family of Leon, one of the 3 unfortunate friends who was killed by Lamu. When entering the house, we realized that the Dean family seemed to have moved away after Leon's death. Hallucinations appeared. The main character saw Leon in the middle of the fire. Leon's mouth kept calling for help. The hallucination took the main character to a red space. After that, he was chased by Leon. After a while, the main character woke up and found himself in the hallway. Another person was also standing next to him. It was Aaron, Leon's younger brother. The main character asked Aaron about the employee working for the farm. From there, we learned that this person's name was Terry. He was fired not long before the farm closed. After that, Terry got a new job at an aquarium in the city. However, the aquarium was later shut down to serve the police investigation. The game continues with the story of the camel family. It is the baby camel's 8th birthday. Both parents are present, but the father camel is busy with work and forgets to give the baby camel a birthday present. That makes the mother camel angry. During the argument, the father camel reveals that he has completed the new medicine and it will help the baby camel recover. As soon as the medicine is injected into the body, the baby camel suddenly transforms into a monster. Then there is a scene of the baby camel crying in front of the bodies of the father and mother camel. We return to the main character. After leaving Dean's pig farm, the main character drives to the aquarium that Aaron told about to find Terry. There, the main character continues to see hallucinations about 2 friends, Tasha and Ken. They would not have died if the main character had not invited them to camp there. The protagonist wanders around the aquarium until he finds a rental contract with Terry's name on it. It has a full address on it, and the protagonist knows that this is where Terry is hiding. The protagonist follows the address to an old apartment building on the outskirts of the city. He takes an axe and goes down to the basement. The protagonist realizes that this is Terry's hideout. After a while, Terry appears. Terry confesses that he is using the monster Lamu as his henchman. Suddenly, Lamu appears behind Terry. It quickly kills Terry, causing him to drop the controller of the control collar. The main character picked up the controller and controlled Lamu. But Lamu had already escaped. While running, Lamu met the character Little Camel again. Little Camel said that he was tired of always running away. The monster Lamu shed tears. He didn't want to hurt anyone. It's just that all his choices led to suffering. And all because he was hungry. The main character took an axe and chopped Lamu's head, destroying the monster once and for all. The main character walked out of the basement and felt relieved. Finally, the burden of revenge for his friends was over. This is also the end of the events in the second part of Hungry Lamu. This part of the game tells the story of the main character's investigation after the events at the end of Chapter 1. In Chapter 1, there was an article claiming that the murderer at the Lamu Reserve had been caught. But the events at the beginning of Chapter 2 tell us that this information is not true. Lamu, after the events of Part 1, is not under the control of the government. It was captured by a character named Terry. And this is also a new character appearing for the story of Hungry Lamu. Information about Terry appears everywhere in Chapter 2. In 1977, when Terry was 23 years old, he was an assistant to Dr. Eric Brown in a project to research a cure based on animal DNA. But this project was quickly canceled because Dr. Eris was accused of using fake experimental results. The project was canceled, leading to a dark future for Terry. He went from being a promising scientist to falling into the garbage dump. Now he has to find manual jobs to make a living. In 2002, Terry applied to be a driver for Dean's pig farm. But this farm also stopped operating shortly after. And the events in this farm are also told in another game called Pork-Bound. Pork-Bound tells the story of a boy named Aaron. He fights against mutant creatures that suddenly appear on his family's farm. That is Dean's pig farm. There is another game called Sea Mongrel. It is the story of two characters, Kim and Theo. They have to find a way to escape from an aquarium invaded by mutant monsters. You will easily recognize this aquarium as identical to the aquarium that the main character investigated in Hungry Llama Chapter 2. There is another game that also has the appearance of mutant monsters. That is Sandy is Home. It tells the story of a single mother who accidentally discovered that her daughter Joey was kidnapped. The kidnapper is a large, scary character called Sandy. And this is clearly a mutant man. All these details are linked after we complete Hungry Llama Chapter 2. You will unlock the gallery. And here, the developer has confirmed that all 4 games above are in the same universe. With the attacks from mutant creatures occurring in 2002, we can determine that Terry is the one who created these mutant creatures. And one more clue. In the conversation with Terry, he seems to be extremely obsessed with the scientific project on animal DNA. And he wants to punish all those who have looked down on him in the past. Now, let's come to the story of the camel family. We can easily recognize that the camel family is the Brown family. The baby camel is Larry, the mother camel is Tina, and the father camel is Eric. In the story of this family in Chapter 2, we will have a clearer view of the reason why Larry is mutated. Larry has an incurable disease. It makes him unable to function like normal children. And that is what makes Eric constantly seek a cure for his son, leading to the tragedy of the Brown family. Larry, after being mutated, became a llama monster. He was constantly manipulated by a voice. He accidentally committed massacres. That lasted for 26 years. However, at the end of the game, Larry's remaining humanity made him stop. Larry's nature is a good boy, and before turning into a monster, Larry always had a dream of helping people. Larry knew that if he continued to run away, the monster in him would cause suffering to others. Therefore, only death could free Larry from Lamu. And that's why Larry stood still, so that the main character could end everything. And that's also the end of both games. See you in the next videos.